What's up, guys? I hope you're all doing well, and thank you so much for popping into my review for Clint Eastwood's final film, Juror number 2. This is said to be Clint Eastwood's final movie. The guy is 94 years old, and he is still directing films. And guess what? Juror number 2 is excellent. I just got done watching it about 15 minutes ago. This movie was such a gut punch to me. This movie blew me away. It blew my socks off. I thought that the screenplay to this, the story of it was great. I thought the acting was great. Clint Eastwood did such a great job putting this movie together at 94 years old. Nicholas Hoult plays a husband whose wife has had trouble having babies in the past, and they're just days away from having their first child, but he's called to jury duty. And when he's placed as the second juror and he realizes the details of the case that he's in, he realizes that he might have a little more to do with it than he could have ever expected. This movie is a roller coaster of emotions. I think from the opening of it has a sort of a smaller, slower start, but this movie's like a damn roller coaster. By the end of it, you are at the highest speeds of exhilaration. By the end of this film, which is one of those endings that's like sort of open-ended to where it's going to cause, conversation after it ends. I just was so invested into Nicholas Holt's character, his dynamic with his family, Toni Collette as the prosecutor who's running for like district attorney or whatever she's running for. She's the prosecutor, and what she goes through in this film and the arc of that character is so compelling. And the first half of it, you're like, okay, she's just sort of your straightforward prosecutor. But by the end of the film, this character goes on her own sort of emotional arc in this film. She goes through something. She becomes so open minded. And by the end of the film, you just want to know what happens next. I would have preferred if this movie went on for another hour because I was so invested into the raw, real storytelling of this film. Clint Eastwood should be getting Best Director nominations for this. If this is the guy's final film, you should be nominating Clint Eastwood for this. Look, he can't really do much campaigning right now. He's 94, but his whole career is his campaign. Okay? This movie, I'm not saying he should win. I'm not saying give him the win. I'm saying you got to at least nominate the guy. Nicholas Hoult is great as the lead performance, but if any acting is getting nominated from this, it's Toni Collette for supporting actress. You also have J.K. Simmons, who has a very small role as one of the jurors in the film. He's also excellent and steals every scene he's in. I don't know if there's enough for him in there to get nominated, probably not, but he blew me away. I could see this getting in for SAG Ensemble, but you want to know something? That I don't think this movie is going to be in the conversation as much as it should, because Warner Brothers dumped this movie on digital services. You can rent this film for $10 or you can buy it for like $20 or $25. They did not give it a theatrical release in the US. I know it was released theatrically, very limitedly maybe in the US. I have no idea. I know in other countries it came out, but the distribution of what is said to be Clint Eastwood's final film. Look, Clint Eastwood's not even one of my favorite directors, but I got respect for the guy. This man has been putting out movies all his life, and now his final film, Warner Brothers, has dumped it onto a rental platform. I mean, it is disgusting and despicable to me, the treatment that this movie got from its distribution. Warner Brothers should be ashamed because this movie is excellent and not enough people are going to see it. If I have any say or any influence, watch this movie. You might not love it as much as I did, but damn it, it's a good film. This is a great film. Like, this is the anatomy of a fall of this year. That was last year's courtroom drama. This is this year's courtroom drama. You also had another film that came out a few months ago that was a courtroom drama, which was Joker Folie à Doo Doo. Yeah, that film doesn't hold a candle to this movie. The way that the plot unfolds, the things that Nicholas Holt's character is dealing with personally in his past and his addictions. I mean, it all just comes to a head by the end of the film. You want to see the guy succeed. I was just completely riveted by the whole thing. The cinematography is beautiful. The editing is great. I think that this movie is probably, sadly, going to be overlooked because it's just not going to get out to as many people. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen, what the fate of this film is going to be. Juror number 2 is one of the best films of the year. I haven't been so on the edge of my seat by the end of a film, in the third act of a film, since Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is the only other film in this year that's made me feel so just into it, engaged, and immersed. And there's no action in this movie. It's a completely dialogue-driven film. But by the end of it, I was head over heels and floored by this movie. Juror number 2 is a masterclass of filmmaking. This isn't a big, huge film, but guess what? Just like the movie A Real Pain with Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, it's not a huge, big movie, but what it's able to accomplish within it has completely floored me. And Juror number 2 is a 5 out of 5 star film. I loved this movie. This is an incredible film. It's a thought-provoking film. By the end of it, you want to know what happens next. You want to have conversations about it. And I hope people will have conversations about it. That's my thoughts on Juror number 2, guys. Comment down below. Do you plan on seeing this film now? If you have VOD on demand, whatever you rent or buy digital movies from, it's on there now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for a bunch of reviews coming in the future. Not an awards type film, but Y2K, a film that's just come out in theaters. I'll be seeing Saturday, going to be doing a review for that. Also, another awardsy type film with Angelina Jolie starring in Maria that I'll be reviewing next Wednesday night. Craven the Hunter. Bunch of other exciting things on the way. And guys, you can follow me on Twitter and or X at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingArises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Juror number 2. And until next time, over and out.